It's a very foggy morning here in Dublin, but I sincerely hope that the fog will lift. At least the weather forecast gives me hope for today. In about an hour I'm going to join a boat trip from Dublin Docks to Dun Laoghaire. So I hope this will be a nice adventure and I hope to see some interesting places. Well, these places are familiar to me, but of course on a boat trip you see them from a totally different perspective. So hopefully this will be interesting to you too. And of course once we arrive to Dun Laoghaire I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Dun Laoghaire and we are going to explore it. Look at the stairs. Dun Laoghaire. So guys, this is the boat. I was imagining that it was going to be a bigger boat, but I'm not very well dressed because I saw that it would be 25 degrees and I didn't imagine that it would be so windy and I'm actually cold.
You don't seem that enthusiastic. No, I won't be doing that actually. What I will actually be doing is I will be telling you what things are as we pass them by, and I will be trying to entertain you all the long way away. So, yeah, I hope it works out. If it doesn't, just ignore me. But I'll give it my best go. Anyway, let's get straight into it, if it's all the same to you folks. Oh, by the way, I don't know how well this is going to work out because there's a lot of fog that way, so if I go non-verbal halfway through, just don't mind me. To start off with, if we look behind us now, we can see the Samuel Beckett Bridge, folks, and this was built in 2009 by a fella, fella from the Netherlands, and it was built there, and it was transported via ship, and it cost, wait till you hear this, 60 million euro to make. I wish I had that amount of discretionary income to blow on a bridge, but unfortunately I don't. And on your right hand side there, folks, just behind you, passing us now, we have this orange, big orange bell shaped thing. This is a diving bell, and it was sort of the brainchild of a fella named Bindon Broadstone, who was in the 18th century was the Dublin port head engineer, and basically he used this contraption to build the quay walls you see on either side of you. The idea being the bell would be lowered into the water and men would go down the chute. Oh, I thought I went. What? Does this keep cutting out? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen. I might have to just start shouting at you. But anyway, the main idea for this diving bell is men would climb down the chute and be underwater. It would create a little air bubble, and they could place the foundations of the quay wall that you see on both sides of you. On your right hand side now, folks, you see a river flowing underneath a bridge. That river is the River Dodder, and above that now we can see, above the bridge we can see the Aviva Stadium. Now the Aviva Stadium is one of Ireland's largest venues for sport, particularly rugby. Rugby is played there a lot, so games like the Six Nations are always on there, and there are also a few concerts. Last year Taylor Swift played 3 nights in the Aviva Stadium. This year Dua Lipa and Lana Del Rey are playing this month actually, end of this month, and next year Metallica will be playing in the Aviva Stadium. So it's a very busy place, folks.
So let's recap this boat trip sailing all the way from Dublin city centre out to Dun Laoghaire. Seriously, it was a blast. The boat itself was fantastic, super comfy, and offered such an awesome fresh angle on seeing Dublin. Now I have to be honest, the weather was not entirely on our side. It was very windy, so if you are ever planning a similar trip, definitely grab a jacket. There was also quite a bit of fog, which meant some of the landmarks we passed were, shall we say, a little mysterious. But on the bright side, I actually think it made them look even cooler and more atmospheric. We passed right through Dublin port and it was fascinating to see all sorts of boats and ferries coming and going. As we went along, our guide pointed out so many interesting buildings and facilities. We learned about things like Covanta, which is this really cool waste-to-energy production facility. We also passed the pullback chimneys. You know those iconic red and white stacks? Some people love them, some people not so much, but our guide told us the government actually paid nearly €5 million to a Scottish company to repaint them. So they're definitely being looked after to keep them looking their best. Just across from the pullback chimneys, we saw the Red Pullback Lighthouse. It's quite special, being the first lighthouse ever to use candlelight power. Funny enough, I recently made a video all about it. Right beside it, there is a green lighthouse. Our guide explained that these colors aren't just for show. They are essential for navigation. When boats are out on the water, the red lights mark the left side of the port and the green lights mark the right. This system makes it much easier for boats to safely find their way.
They are red and green. And you'll notice as we come out into the bay, the buoys that we see are also red and green.
The only bummer about the fog was that we couldn't clearly see the Bailey Lighthouse next to Holt. That was a real shame. But honestly, even with things a bit misty, the trip was genuinely so much fun. If you are ever in Dublin, you should totally check out a boat trip like this. Even with a bit of fog, it's an experience you won't forget. Thank you. The boat will make a short break and will continue to Holt. So this is another alternative to take the boat from Holt to Dun Laoghaire or from Dun Laoghaire to Holt. The trip was €28. Just for your information, the boat had a bathroom and you could buy snacks and drinks if you wanted. A good tip is that it's usually best to book this kind of trips online to make sure you get a spot. You can even reserve and pay later. Instead of sticking to my plan of just exploring Dun Laoghaire, I suddenly felt like checking out Sandycove as well. It's a neighboring town I hadn't visited before, so I was really curious to see it. Sandycove is a charming seaside suburb of Dublin, quite famous for its 40-foot bathing spot and of course its connection to James Joyce's Martello Tower. To get there, I simply walked through the People's Park, which conveniently links both towns. I will be exploring Dun Laoghaire a bit later. The reason this Martello Tower is famous is because it's named after James Joyce, the writer. And James Joyce spent, oh, my hair is flying everywhere. James Joyce spent a couple of nights in this tower in 1904. And from here there is a nice view to Dun Laoghaire, to the harbor. We're going to explore it a bit later, but now I want to go over there to see the tower, the Martello Tower. And there is also a spot where the young people are diving. On my way to Sandycove, I saw two sculptures, but I knew I just had to show you this one. This is Mothership by Rachel Joyce, a real highlight right on the Sandycove seafront. It's a huge sculpture made of cast iron and shiny steel, designed to look like a big, spiky seashell freshly washed ashore. What's super cool is you can climb inside and look out at the sea through a little window, just like that. This spot right here, it's actually the tiny Sandycove harbor, but it totally works as the beach these days. And let me tell you, it's absolutely buzzing with life. As you will see in just a moment when we get a better look, literally everyone is out here soaking up the sun and just having a great time. That's really useful. High tide at 6 p.m. Low tide at 12. So it's low tide now. Should be fun. Looks like it's low tide right now, which means it's probably not the best time for anyone planning to jump off the 40-foot. These plants, they're beautiful. And what is this? Oh, this is the jumping place. This is where the kids are jumping. I really love spending time in spots like this because of the amazing positive energy. I could honestly hang out here for hours, even though I'm just watching everything unfold. And a little bit of history about the 40-foot. This place has been a super popular swimming spot since the 19th century, kind of like Vico Baths. The name itself is a bit of a puzzle. Some say it's from an old road nearby that was 40 feet, about 12 meters wide, or maybe fishermen thought the water was that deep, but actually it's only about 20 feet, around 6 meters deep at most. It's also famously linked to James Joyce, an incredible Irish writer, though I have to admit I haven't actually read any of his books myself. But this spot is where the opening scene of one of his most famous novels takes place. I feel a bit overdressed for this bathing place because everyone is in swimming suits and I'm dressed in a raincoat, but yeah, I think very soon I will undress also because it's getting hot. Just up the road, you will see the James Joyce Tower and Museum. You've probably seen these Martello Towers in my other videos. They were all built to warn against Napoleon, each visible to the next along the coast. This specific tower is famous because James Joyce used it for the start of one of his biggest novels. Now it's a free museum open since 1962 with an exhibition of some of his belongings. Look at the stairs. No, 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 no. Absolutely no. I'm not going up, guys. I'm so claustrophobic that I don't want. No. I was not planning to enter the museum, but they saw me filming from the outside and they invited me in. They told me a bit of history about the tower, and they told me to go upstairs if I want to see some nice views, but the stairs were so narrow. If you just want some positive vibes, go to this bathing place. And yeah, you can visit. You can also visit the museum of James Joyce, but yeah, have in mind that the stairs are really narrow. And if you are claustrophobic like me, probably it's not a good idea. That's all on Sandycove. We're now officially in Dun Laoghaire. While this town offers a rich cultural scene, our limited time means we will be focusing our exploration on the beautiful harbour today. I will only pop into town briefly for a quick bite to eat, and since it will be nothing exciting, I will be having my food off camera. We will save the full town center experience for another visit. So this is the town hall. We are now proceeding towards the harbour. And the harbour is quite large. If you want to see both piers, it's a long walk. This is the fountain of Queen Victoria. So over there we see the name of the town, which is spelled as Dunlaoghaire, but it's pronounced Dun Laoghaire. Originally, Dun Laoghaire was a small fishing village which was named after a 5th century high king called Laoghaire. Then in 1807, a very devastating storm destroyed everything and it spurred the plans for building a huge harbour. After the visit of King George IV in 1820, the town was renamed to Kingstown, and it slowly started gaining popularity as a nice resort. The town reverted to its original name Dun Laoghaire in 1920 after the liberation of Ireland. Today, Dun Laoghaire is a vibrant coastal town that also serves as the heart of Dun Laoghaire-Rathdown County, an administrative area home to 233,860 people. The town itself had a population of 46,603 in 2022. It's packed with restaurants, coffee shops, and museums, offering plenty to explore. If you really want to experience Dun Laoghaire, you would probably need more than a day. The Sandycove we explored earlier is actually a lovely suburb of Dun Laoghaire. Today's adventure will end with a stroll on the East Pier, a popular spot for walking. This kilometer-long pier is perfect for getting some steps in while enjoying the fresh air and amazing views. You will see all sorts of people out here, from walkers and joggers to families enjoying a stroll. It's also a fantastic place to watch the boats coming and going from the harbor. Also, you can grab an ice cream or a coffee from one of the vendors along the way. It's just a stunning place to spend some time, especially on a sunny day like today. Hello, can I have a regular cone with a flake?
€3.
Yeah.
It's up there whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Right here, yeah. Very nice. Perfection. Dublin Bay viewfinder. Here you can see one of those really cool monuments that shows you all the nearby landmarks and exactly which direction they're in. So right across from where we are standing, you'll find iconic spots like the James Joyce Tower and the 40-foot. And as you follow around this circular guide, it also highlights places such as Killiney, the historic Dalkey Castle, the lovely People's Park, and so much more to explore in this area. I was wondering what's drawing all these seagulls to one place. Let's take a peek, and sure enough, there is a man down there treating them to some fish.